lovely wishes. It's Holly. Welcome to Dandelion Stitches. How are you all? How are you? Hoping big hugs. Hugs for if you're good, if you're not. I always hope for the best for all of you. So I'm antsy today. I don't know why. My chair has like rollerblade things on it, and it could go really fast, which would be really interesting. So it's a new week, it's a new day. It's still happening in the sewing room. We hit a snag with the overhead lighting. The house is old, and the lighting, we did not have an overhead light, but we had a fan, but no overhead light. And of course, there needs to be an overhead light because there's going to be a work table in the middle of the room that needs light over it. But I also want the room to be very aesthetically pleasing to me. So like, a big old industrial light isn't, while very functional, isn't the look that I want. So we went to Home Depot. I swear the people at Home Depot must be like, oh, hello again, Schmitz. How are you? We'll take your money. But we found a light that I really like, and now Tom has got to figure out a way to wire it where the fan was, because the fan was a chain thing majig, and we need either a switch or Alexa, could you please turn on the light? Sort of a situation. So he's out there working on that now. Luckily, the man's got a lot of electronic smarts, so it'll happen. It'll happen. So today we are going to do another one of our projects from the Make a Little Gift for Someone, and it's these little bowls, these little coiled bowls. I don't know if you remember or if you watched the video, but Hummingbird Lane Quilt Shop has what they call a Stash Buster program, subscription box, where they give you project ideas, and then you need to include your stash in order to make that project happen. And this box came, and it is for these little baskets. They are super fun. They are super duper fun. So I'm gonna switch to the other camera. I'm gonna show you just a couple of tips and a couple of thoughts I have on it, and then we're gonna go to the tutorial, and then I'll be back again. So see you in a minute. This particular company, the Mountain Thread Company, sells lots of different kits for lots of different kinds of coiled things, and I did go online and order another one, but honestly, you just got to get yourself some rope. Hang on. One of my enablers said, oh, somebody's got rope on sale. So I went, and it's just clothesline. But it is a matter of how big or little the clothesline that you want. This is a little thicker than what we got going on here, but it'll just make a little bit of a bigger bowl, or whatever you decide to make out of it. So it gives you very few instructions, because honestly, you don't need them. You got to just get in there and make it happen. The first thing, though, that you need to do is make friends with your zigzag. And this was me doing that. And this is what you want to end up with. I think it was, you start out with it kind of smaller while you're getting that little, this little bit together. And then once you've got that going, you make it bigger. And I think I ended up with a 4.5. But every machine might be a little different. So, go on in there and have some fun. These are, this is way too little, kind of too close together. So you just gotta play until you get what you want. So This one I just used a few little scraps of fabric, and this was how I chose to do my handle. This is what they look like from the bottom. Again, with the little strips of fabric. Obviously, I was way into the little strips of fabric, but this one, I tied a little knot, and then I undid all the ropey. I am actually going to put a little bit of glue right here to hold that knot down. And then this one is, I used variegated thread. It's brown variegated thread. I was liking the earthiness of it. Now this one, you will notice that I did not get the center real good. That's a learning process also. And then this was my first one. They're super fun and easy, and would, I think, make awesome little gifts. You could put little things in them. You could just give them for how they are. And you can get more. These were 9 feet, I think, of rope. Yes, to make this big, but you could make them bigger. They're so much fun, is the point. They are so much fun. So I'll see you at the other camera. So we start with a little coil, and I'm zigzagging a little, I'm going to say like a little snowflake, a little asterisk 3 times across it to just kind of hold it together. Don't worry about it being fancy or that it looks fantastic. It's just got to hold that little coil together. So then I'm trying to get it in good light right now. You've got it now so that the center is going to stay together, and you turn it over so that it looks like a Q. And now you're ready to start. It's got, yeah, like a Q. Visual prompts. So I used a presser foot that's got a little red like arrow right in the center. And I found that if I kept that little red arrow right between the 2 pieces of coiled rope, that was a really good guide to make sure that I got it kind of right where I wanted it. So now I decided I'm going to put in a little piece of fabric. I cut these pieces of fabric, I think a 1/2 inch wide, and maybe 6 inches long. Just a chunk, you know, there's really no major rules. And you just wind it on there so that you're sure that it's going to stay there when you get started stitching on it. And then you can kind of finish it up as you go. But then you just keep on. You just keep on like you were before. Pivoting. In the early stages of this, you're going to need to pivot your needle probably many times. So I'm going to do it again. Pivot. Because going in a circle like that is kind of counterintuitive. But every time you feel like you're kind of off kilter, just keep the needle down, lift up the presser foot, and then just pivot until you're back where you need to be. You won't need to do that. Pretty soon we're going to get to a point where you won't need to do that anymore. It'll just, because you've got enough space that it runs really easily. So we're just finishing or wrapping the fabric around. I think one of these like completely wrapped in fabric would be really cute. So back to it. Gonna need to pivot it again. If when you get your fabric on, you feel like it's like something's just not quite right, or it's kind of bunchy, just remember that you're going to be bringing a piece of coil around over the top of it again, and that kind of fixes any problems. So now we're going to go really fast again because this could be really boring. So whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, I was trying to get the camera down farther so you could get a little bit of a better look. So we're going to do flat like this until it's about maybe 3.5 inches across, and then you start lifting it up. From the left hand side, you just lift it up so that but you're basically you're doing the exact same thing. And it feels like you're just doing the same thing, but you're lifting it up so that it's creating that bowl shape. And you just keep on going. Keep on doing what you feel like you need to do to get it going. I'm trying to get my fingers out of the way for you to be able to see better, but it is kind of a two-handed thing here, keeping everything straight. So just keep I hope you've got a presser foot that's got that little red arrow, because that made all the difference for me. That keeping that little arrow right between those two pieces of rope really helped. Oh, my hands are tired. Taking a break. Okay, back to it. I was really shaky that day too, so. Also, if you go along and you realize that there's been a couple of spaces that, or areas where you missed, and so your coils aren't right next to each other, just cut your thread, go back, and make sure that they're connected, and then go back to where you were. Here we go with more fabric. And I was completely random with it. I think it needs fabric here, so I put fabric there. And then we just keep going. After a while, it will stand up by itself pretty well. You do kind of still have to encourage it to stand up on that left side, but it picks up the shape. Oop, pivot. Still going, still making it work. Oh, see, that's where I realized that there was an opening. There was a hole between the two pieces of coil. So I went back and I fixed them up, and then I kept on going. When you're using the same color thread as the coil, it makes it really easy to hide the boo-boos. When I did the one that was variegated brown, yeah, it became real clear. All the places that I wasn't directly between both pieces of coil. I tried to wrap the fabric as tightly as I could. And then we're just back going around. Sorry, dead air here. Nothing much to tell. You can see now that I'm just guiding it. Like it's doing it on its own. The farther along you get, the easier it gets. Okay, I'm starting to get to the end. And I'm contemplating, what am I going to do at the end? So I decide to make a loop. and I put the frayed end on in the inside and make that loop. Oops, I feel like I have too much. Keep going. So make the loop, put the frayed edge on the inside, and then go between the loop pieces first. So at least this is what I did. So go, Holly, go. I'm scared. There we go. Okay. Come on. Foot on the pedal. You can do it. Okay. Now I've got my fingers all in the way so you can't see, but I'm going along the loop coils first. And then I'm going to back up and so now I'm where it started, and I'm going to move back over to the bowl coil, and I'm going to do the space between the top of the bowl and the loop. And when I get it where I want it, I'm going to back tack. We're almost there. And it's a bowl. Yay! It's alive. Of all the things I've made so far, these have been the most fun. These were, and they're fast. They're really fast. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. I am really sorry about the angle and it on the sewing machine part, and then it kept trying to focus on my hands. User error. I've purchased a new contraption that you can oh my god, that you can put your phone on your head and that, you know, you can video. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So be well, be safe. If you make any of these, and please share them in the Facebook group. I would love to see, or any of the things I've suggested. I would love to see what you guys are doing. So be well, be safe. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.